What's the Story Morning Glory went quadruple platinum in America. And now, in the new millennium, we've the battle of the boy bands. The Wanted were the highest charting British boy band ever in America when their single Glad You Came reached #4. But not so sure they'll be so glad that One Direction came over here and for the moment have stolen their crown.
That was Ross King charting the history of British boy bands stateside.
Took me back.
Joining us now, Showbiz journalist Dan Wotton. What is it about One Direction and The Wanted then, Dan, that makes them succeed where others haven't in the past?
Well, this has been their moment, hasn't it? The moment for the comeback of the British boy band. But actually, what's really interesting is I think it's a lot to do with social networking. Because actually, Psycho, Simon Cowell's record company, have come out today. And Simon has actually said One Direction have the best fans in the world. And it is something to do with that, because actually they haven't been played on radio as much as some of the other big artists, but it's because they have this huge, passionate fan base who talk to each other constantly through Twitter and Facebook and other big websites, and I think it has made all the difference for them.
When you see them making this bit of history, I mean, it's amazing to think, isn't it, that the band members in One Direction all, fail's a strong word, but didn't make it through as individuals in X Factor, and then were put back together.
Completely, and I do think everyone likes to knock Simon Cowell when he gets something wrong or when an X Factor winner doesn't succeed. So I do think this morning we do have to take a moment to give him some huge credit here, because we do remember, at least in the UK we do, obviously in America they don't care because they didn't see it, but we remember the fact that these lads didn't get through to the next round at boot camp, but Simon Cowell and Nicole Scherzinger, she claims it was her decision, saw something in them and put them together as a group. And Simon, I guess why he's so brilliant at what he does is he does have the backing of massive record companies all around the world to get them to #1.
Simon's desperate to be as big in the United States as he is over here in the UK. It's great news for him and everybody else involved in the show and the band that One Direction have seemingly broken America. Is this it? Is it them made now, and is their future secure?
Well, this is a huge moment for them, absolutely. You can never take away a #1 American album. So many people don't get that in their entire career, very successful people. I mean, Take That made numerous attempts to break the American charts in the 90s. So did Westlife, so did Boyzone. They all failed. And what's so incredible about this is #1 debut album. The Beatles didn't do that, the Spice Girls didn't do that in the first week of release. So it really is a monumental achievement.
You spoke to them, didn't you, before they flew off to the States? I mean, what will this mean to them?
So much, because I think the great thing about coming through a process like the X Factor, especially when you've been turned down at one stage, is you take none of this for granted, and they don't. And the one thing I'll say about One Direction, they're all incredibly down-to-earth, friendly, good lads, you know.
And that's going to be crucial going forward, because they've just gone stellar, haven't they?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you know, when you've got the Kardashians wanting to come to your concert, you have to keep things in check somehow.
You know, you've made it then, don't you?
Yes.
Dan, it's always good to see you.
Good
Thank
to see
you.
you guys.
Thanks. Now then, after the break...